Good evening, laddies, lasses, and lassos. Welcome to the click. You smell absolutely astounding today. Even better than this plushie. And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. If you also want a beautiful plushie to sniff, check out the link in the description. You wonderful, beautiful bean, because you do indeed deserve it. What else do you deserve here in life, you might ask? Well, I am so glad that you indeed asked. I have found a beautiful subreddit that just encapsulates entitled behavior, entitled parents, Karen-esque behavior, and boils it down into this big, obnoxious pile of goo, which is better known as r/BoomersBeingFools. Welcome to r/BoomerBeingFools, a beautiful subreddit that we are going to look through together and laugh about. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Mwah. Okay, we got a bit of a camera. Is that a bear? Is that... Wait, they're not... They don't notice the bear. It's just completely frozen. No one is... Oh my god, that's amazing. Oh my god, a free friend! That is so funny. That is so funny. It's just standing there and no one is even noticing the bear. That is the best thing ever. Oh my god, I would love to have a bear as a puppy. It seems like one of those things that will be like, you know, a famous last mistake, so to say. The kind of stuff you write on your tombstone. Here rests Click. He wanted a puppy bear. But it was worth it. Boomers want to sit outside, waiting by the host stand at a Mexican restaurant for my pickup order. Boomer couple walks in and the lady leans to me and says, "We want to sit outside." I looked up from my phone and said, "Oh, I don't work here." She says, "So, can we just sit outside?" I said, "I am sure someone will be here soon to seat you, but again, I don't work here." The guy harumphs and says, "Maybe you should." Which I don't even understand what that means. But that you're supposed to serve them even though you don't work there? That's a sense of entitlement that is kind of rare. They walk across the restaurant to the door that leads outside, fling it open and bump into the host who is walking through carrying plates. The host is startled and says, "Oh, can I help you?" And the lady says, "We want to sit outside." And the host says, "Okay, come back over here and I can put you on the wait list." The lady then points at me and says, "We asked that guy and he said we could just go sit outside." What? We asked that guy who doesn't even work there? What is with these people? And so I said, "That's not what happened, you frickin' liars. I told him to wait here and I don't work here." And then the host said, "You can sit at the bar or wait for a table outside or leave." And they left! Oh my god, what is this behavior? I've seen this sort of story a few times repeated. One example is in the grocery store and someone comes up to you and goes like, "Where can I find this item?" And you say, I don't work here." And they repeat like, "Here, you have to show me this item or I'll get you fired." And fired from what? Huh? Being a customer? I'm not even sure where this behavior comes from. Is it just like an entitlement that they expect everyone to like serve them, even if they're not even employed to do so? That is wild in that case. Did anyone else's boomer parents say throughout your entire childhood, "We're saving up for your college," only for you to realize in the late 2000s that it was a whopping $1,200? I was deceptively led into the wilderness to be made run from predators because frick you, I got mine. Edit to add, they took it back when I enlisted. That is absolutely amazing. We saved $1,000 for you, but we're also gonna take it back. It's like double petty.
I got black in my family. I dated black men.
Okay.
I am not racist. Once my dad flipped up and said black, I N-word for one time.
Wait, replay that last part. What was that? Hold on. What? Wait, what?
Once my dad flipped up and said black, I N-word for one time.
One time my dad put up something black, the N-word one time. Do I understand that correctly? I love this stitch though. I love the response on the left is just some guy having like a photo prompter. I can't be racist. I had a black friend in elementary school once, 45 years ago. How dare you? A boomer throws his entire life and career away because an 8-year-old broke an instrument in his class. I work at an elementary school. I wasn't there, but as with all things, news spread fast. This just happened a week or so ago. Apparently a student was throwing a tantrum in class. The kid threw a ukulele on the ground, and when the teacher told him, "You better pick that up or else," the kid said, "Or else what?" and stomped his foot right through it. Now, obviously, this is not acceptable behavior and grounds for some kind of serious punishment. However, instead of calling the administrator administrators, school resource officer, or any other type of backup to help resolve the situation, this boomer butt teacher just cocked back and full-on punches this 8-year-old child in the face. Oh my god, like the child is being an absolute poo. But that is not an excuse to literally assault an 8-year-old. Someone doing a wrong thing, and then like one-upping that wrong thing with something that is way, way worse, like assaulting a child is like way up here. Breaking an inanimate object that you might have to replace or something, it's like down here somewhere, depending on the object. You know, this is like in a different ballpark, man. Bruh. The other students freak out and run out of the class. I mean, of course, gee, they just saw a grown man punch an 8-year-old. Oh my god. The kid is on the ground, blood coming out of his nose. The teacher, still standing over him when the SRO arrives, is yelling at the student, "Not so tough now, are you?" The kid broke something and pushed the limits, which he obviously should be punished for. Take it out of his allowance or something, or like, I don't know, force him to cut the lawn at home or whatever to make up for it, to show him that destroying things will waste your own time and money, you know, that's a pretty good lesson. But instead, like, you like literally traumatized him. Great. Wow, what an example. So the parents are informed. The father arrives very soon after and is livid. He's looking for this teacher and is ready to settle it himself. He luckily never does, but is dead set on pressing charges. So the teacher was arrested at home later that evening. This guy should have been forced to retire a while ago. He is nasty to students, he gets angry with the autistic kids for not responding to him, then he would yell good morning at them. I remember sitting in his class and hearing him just spout some unhinged stuff at his students about TikTok in China and the conspiracy to make all the kids dumb with that app. Just crazy poo. I mean, I definitely think TikTok is bad for like attention spans and stuff, but I don't know. Maybe as a teacher going on like a conspiracy rant screaming at 8-year-olds, maybe that's not the way, fam, you know? But he refused to take his retirement last year and wanted to come back. Now he's thrown it all away and ruined his life as a 60-year-old man who is now facing multiple violent charges, fired from his job, and will likely have his pension taken as part of the settlement with the family. I mean, yeah, you can't just assault kids. Are you kidding me? Like, the kid was being an absolute brat, of course, but that doesn't justify any of this kind of stuff. You punish them accordingly and appropriately, like make them work off the thing they broke, for example, make it up with the parents, you know, oh, you have to cut the lawn for the summer to make up for the thing you broke. Like, make them learn that, like, actually breaking other people's things have consequences because you have to pay for it. You know, something like that. You know, that's normal punishment stuff, or ground them or whatever. But, like, literal assault and traumatizing a kid. Jesus Christ, this dude is unhinged. He's absolutely unhinged. Oh my god, fam. Boomers, all this new technology is turning kids into zombies. Also boomers. Yeah, if you want to experience hell on earth, just go to a casino where all the slot machines are. It is so incredibly sad. Oh my god. My outfit was sinful. Poor boomer. So I am a mid-40s trans woman living in the Midwest. So there are always interesting things happening around me. Today, for instance, I was out at a local supermarket picking up some ice cream because it's freaking hot and I wanted some ice cream. I am standing in line to pay for my items, generally ignoring the people around me, when a loud voice behind me says, "You're a sinner!" I ignore him because I don't have time for BS, but I suddenly feel a hard tap on my shoulder. Hey, you're wearing clothes like that is sinful. Just really tap them on the shoulder, because everyone is so interested in what you have to say. Oh dear goody. I have just reached a cashier, and she is watching this guy wide-eyed. Cashier has pink hair, is maybe 17 years old, and she's got a pride pin on her shirt. So I turn to the guy and put on a huge grin and say, "Thank you. I put a lot of effort into picking out my dress today. I am happy to hear you think it's sinful. That is the best compliment I have had all day." Cashier snorts in amusement. Boomer is caught off guard, and he's like, "Sinful isn't a compliment." He is confused and upset. I tell him, "Don't you know that calling an outfit sinful is what the kids say when your fit slays? It's like saying that someone looks beautiful or their clothes are really cool." Boomer looks over at the Gen Z cashier, who just plays along and says that it's true, and says to me, "He's right though, your dress is totally sinful today." I thank her and ignore Mr. Boomer, who glares at us for a few seconds, then leaves his stuff on the belt and storms out of the store. What is with all these adult toddlers? They feel the need to, like, repeat what they say when no one pays attention, tap someone on the shoulder to really get their attention, double down, and when people just don't care, they just storm off in a huff. Because how can anyone not care about my deep wisdom about saying that someone's summer fit is sinful? Oh my god. The cashier then asks where I heard about sinful being a compliment, and I told her I made it up on the spot. I told her, if you can't pacify them, confuse them. I am hoping I coined some new Gen Z slang, but I doubt it. It is good though. I'm gonna be honest though, the strat of like agreeing or like doubling down further with this kind of stuff is usually a good way to kind of catch people off guard. It's sort of like when conspiracy people are like, oh my god, you believe in the moon landing? And you're like, oh, you believe in the moon? Or for example, if someone goes at you with like, I don't know, an anti-mask rant, and then you just fire back with like, no, it's for the government facial tracking. I don't want them tracking my face on all the cameras. And you just punch back with like another conspiracy or whatever. And that's probably the way to go about it, because they don't know how to deal with that stuff. They don't know how to deal with someone just agreeing or like doubling down further or having a reason that would align with their own. It is hilarious, and it really makes some brains boil. So here's just a man picking up some brewskis for the weekend with the... Oh my god, what is that logo? That is not a good logo. Does he understand what this logo means? This is, that's really bad. Oh, it says something white boy on the bottom, so I'm assuming he, support poor something white boy, and then there's that logo in the middle. Okay, so I'm assuming he sort of knows what it means. That is a wild thing to just proudly wear in a grocery store. That is the problem with you millennials. This one happened to me back in my days as a retail manager. I am walking the aisles and see a guy looking at pain patches. This is our conversation. Doing okay? I'll be better if you have these back pain patches, but it looks like you're out. We had just unloaded our truck, so I knew we didn't have more. But he was also looking at the store brand, so I figured I would just offer him the name brand for a discount. Yeah, we're out of those, but... Yeah, well, that's just freaking great for me. Well, I can give you the name brand for the same price if you want. No, I want these ones. Okay, I can check the other stores in the area to see if I don't have time to drive all over the place looking for these. Well, you wouldn't have to if I look it up. It would just be the one other store. I could even call and have them hold... I'm still working, dude. That's the problem with you millennials who think everyone has to work but you. Looking down at my employee outfit and name tag, I am literally at my job right now. I am actively working. Yeah, whatever. Okay, enjoy your back pain. Classic boomer. Edit, loving all the boomers commenting on this post birching. You guys know what subreddit this is, right? As if you're looking for reasons to get upset. Second edit, I worked retail for 8 years and have been treated like poo by people of all ages. I know it isn't exclusive to boomers. There are also boomers who were nice to me. I'm not saying they don't exist. What I can say from experience is the biggest slice of pie in the old pie chart of assholes is boomers. I do get the feeling that people that act like this, regardless of age or whatever, just want to be upset at something. They just woke up on the wrong side of the bed or the wrong side of life or whatever, and they just decide that everything is an issue, and they want to be outraged at stuff. Because the solution is right there, like a few centimeters to the left, where you have like the other brand of exactly the same medication, or the store like half a kilometer away that you can just drive to in 2 minutes. But no, those solutions aren't good, because I want to be upset. Yippee! Trump allies pledge holy war against Taylor Swift. This title is very American. Taylor Swift hasn't even endorsed Biden's 2024 campaign, but Trump is already privately grousing he's more popular than her. She's not even a politician. How is this relevant? The internet just goes wild when there's any kind of like election times in the US, I swear to God. The amount of stuff I see coming out of it, that is either like endorsed by really weird grifters or bots or whatever it is. It's wild. Every election year in the US, the internet just explodes for like 12 months and then it calms down again. It's insane. It's insane to see. My BBC, bossy boomer coworker, saw me using keyboard shortcuts, and when she noticed I had copy-pasted, instead of saying, "Oh neat, what a time saver," she told me it was against company policy. Lamau, help! Can you imagine that if you sign a contract for a job and be like, yeah, you can't use basic Windows shortcuts because you'll upset people that don't understand them? Why not just take it as a positive? Oh my God! When your life is so good, you literally have to make up problems. Imagine trying to get someone fired for using a Control-C, Control-V shortcut. It's so basic, it's barely a shortcut. Come on. What is he... Wait, is he trying to occupy the parking spot with his body? And you know... God, how can someone be so childish? I remember I saw a video a while ago of like a mom that put their stroller and like rammed away a car with the stroller. It's like, yeah, mom of the year, sacrificing your baby for that sweet parking lot. There is one thing I just don't understand about these people, and I think it's this sense of like immortality, or however I should put it. Let me explain it this way. When I cross the street, even if it's a crossing or something, I make sure to look everywhere. Because the truth is that some drivers are just bad drivers, someone can get stung by a bee or something like that, and if a car is just coming, it doesn't really matter if you're right or wrong for traffic rules if you literally get, hit by a car. And the same kind of logic applies here. What happens if this person just accidentally hits the gas and, goes back a little bit harder? Or what if they get stung by a bee? You're putting, like, a lot of trust into random people always doing the right thing. Like, that blows my mind the most about this sort of thing. I do not trust randos as much as these people do. It is absolutely insane. Today, I was told I am a dangerous freak because I talk to my child. Ooh, that forbidden thing of socializing with your child so they learn things. Anyway, let's get into this, shall we? I went shopping at Tesco today and had my infant daughter in a carrier. To keep her calm, I was casually talking to her. Nothing spectacular, basically just stuff like, "What do you think? Should we take the bigger pack of meat? Or the smaller one will do? Better take the bigger one, right? Oh yes, we will take the bigger one and we can make schnitzels for daddy. Do you think he would like that? And if we're making schnitzels, we can also make strudel. We have apples from Granny, remember? Oh yes, so we should take walnuts. Will you remind me that we need walnuts? Yes, you will. You're my good girl." Apologies for the long example, but I just wanted to demonstrate that the stuff I was saying was almost painfully normal. Just a boring inner monologue that I was sharing with my daughter. Also, I was not, by any means, talking loud or in any way that could disturb someone. At one point, I noticed that an older lady seemed to be shopping weirdly close to me for some time already, but I would not think twice about it if she did not approach me. Her. "Hey, who are you talking to?" "Hello, I am just having a conversation with my daughter. My baby gets a lot of attention from random grandmas, so I assume that the lady did just see my daughter as I was having her in the carrier and under my jacket. I thought we will get the one, 'Oh, what a cute angel. I did not see you there. Hello, honey, you are so sweet,' as usual, and we'll be on our merry way. But no. But she is a baby." Yes? "Well, then why are you talking to her like this? Asking her stuff? She does not understand that." Me, more confused. I just often talk to her like this to keep her calm and to help her meet the world around her. "But she is a baby. She cannot answer you the things you were asking." Okay. Would it also blow this woman's mind that people, like, read to their kids before the kids can read themselves? Is that also gonna blow their mind? How else are they supposed to learn? They learn and explore by listening, not to mention that, like, hearing stuff from your loved ones and the familiarity can definitely calm them down and make them feel at home and stuff. Like, what is this? They're not talking to the baby expecting a conversation back. That's not the point. Me, borderline flabbergasted, but still leaning towards being confused that someone does not find talking to a family member one of the most common things there are. Well, I know she's not gonna reply back. "Then why do you talk to her? This is ridiculous. You talk to her like she's an adult. She does not understand you. She cannot reply to you. You should know this stuff about your husband, whether he would like a salad too or not. She does not talk." This is unhinged. Do you think they're literally asking the baby? Because the baby would know what the husband would want. It's like, "Oh, little baby, you better decide what daddy wants to eat." "Ooh, goo gaga. Oh, he want to eat goo goo. Well, mommy's gonna cook some goo made out of dirt." Oh my god. This is I would call this a strawman argument, but it's more like a straw baby. That is wild. At this moment, I concluded she must be a troubled person. Also, my willingness to explain to someone why do I talk to my very own child dropped dramatically. So with some, "Okay, excuse me please now, I would like to continue shopping," I tried to leave. "No! Come back here! I said to come back here, you absolute madman! I would tell you what I think. I think you're some kind of freak who sees people. That's right, you're a freak, and you talk to invisible people. There is no chance you're talking to your daughter because she is a baby. You are dangerous." Me, beyond words because of the utter absurdity of the situation. Okay, if you say so. She continued screaming at me for a solid 2 minutes after this. I stopped paying attention to her completely and finished my shopping. At the registers, I noticed her standing nearby, heavily gesticulating at me to some of the store employees, who probably was sane enough to not even bother coming to me, which probably was driving her even crazier. Only when I arrived home, I realized I should have said something like, "Oh, magical invisible creatures, please guide me with your wisdom and make me decide if the farmers on our street will have nicer cauliflowers than those, or if we should take one here just to be sure. Oh, thank you, my good invisible people." Yeah, so that. Talking to our own kids is wrong now too, I guess. I wonder if this lady would react the same if she just bumped into someone who was like talking to their dog. "Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Do you want me to go buy a ball for you so we can play in the park?" "Why are you talking to a dog? A dog isn't gonna reply back. The dog's vernacular is too limited to explain if he wants a ball or not."
My dad was attacked while trying to film a promo video for his restaurant.
Okay. Looks pretty cute and chill. Look at that. People just vibing, eating, having a beer. It looks really nice. This is a good vibe. And you can see the dude is just sitting and watching the cameraman, just waiting to have an excuse to lunge at him. That is so petty. If you don't want to be in it so bad, just like take a step back. Out of the angle. It's so easy. Punching someone is usually not the first option of action. People really are like grown-up toddlers, aren't they? Boomers being boomers. This is circulating around Facebook. Just boomers being boomers. The generation who, as the late great George Carlin said, lived by a simple philosophy. "Give me that! It's man!" Okay, here we have a screenshot of like a note app with red flags. Between 60 and death, it's time to use the money you saved up, use it and enjoy it. Don't just keep it for those who may have no notion of the sacrifices you made to get it. So like your family and kids. Your intention is to not build anything for your family and kids. You're just gonna blow it on hookers and blow if you make it to 60. That's That's wild, okay? Remember, there is nothing more dangerous than a son or daughter-in-law with big ideas for your hard-earned capital. Okay, I don't think that sounds like a healthy relationship with your children and their spouses, but alright. Stop worrying about the financial situation of your children and grandchildren, and don't feel bad spending your money on yourself. You've taken care of them for many years, and you've taught them all you could. You gave them an education, food, shelter, and support. The responsibility is now theirs to earn their own money. I'm gonna be honest, it's not for everyone. Family life is a choice and a sacrifice, but also a beautiful thing, and it's up to everyone if they really want it or not. But one of the big motivating factors, at least for me, is knowing that, hopefully at least, I'm building for, a future thing. Only working for yourself is fun, of course. You know, you earn your stuff and you can buy things that you wanted and the video games you dreamed about as a child or whatever, even though that would probably call immature by these people. But it becomes empty at a certain point, and knowing that hopefully at least there will be someone in the future to appreciate what you're building and be able to provide a safe platform or build something that will live on longer than you do is a beautiful thing. To be like, I'm 60 now, screw my kids, hookers and blow it is a wild attitude. It's a really wild attitude. When you're sick of your neighbor always using your trash/recycling cans in broad daylight, annoyed that our trash is full, so he puts his trash in our recycling bin, even takes our can to his place for convenience. Oh my god! And it's not even out in the street. And you hate to be passive-aggressive, but 55+ communities seem to thrive on that method. So here we go. That is, oh my god! It's so ridiculous you have to do that. I have seen trash cans sometimes. They're locked up really tight. And I never quite understood why. Why do you bother? Who would steal trash? You know, who would literally steal trash? But this is why. Just entitled neighbors filling up your trash and sometimes stealing your trash can. And it's not even out in the street, okay? I can understand dumping, a candy wrapper in just a random trash can when you're walking by, in a neighborhood or something. That's fine. Doesn't take up any space or whatever. It's out in the street for collection. But literally going inside someone's parking lot and just dragging their own recycling bin out of there. That's some entitled stuff, man. Oh my god.
I don't believe in communism or whatever, but your property is my property. Isn't that convenient?
A boomer. I've got this. Loses arm. That sounds like something that would end up on a gravestone, doesn't it? Hey bros, check this out. Gravestone quote. This happened several years ago, as told by a friend who is a military veteran and field medic. He was out with some friends in South Carolina where he lives near a golf course. Boomer pulls up with a truck, pickup, natch, and starts up a conversation with a few people, and mentions his plan to go into the water hazard/little man-made ponds to retrieve balls. He has a little side business of selling them back to golfers, he boasts. Anyone within earshot warns him of the large alligator currently in said pond. Someone who works at a golf course says that it's a terrible idea. This alligator is already a problem. He's not worried.
I do this all the time. You kids are too cautious. I've got this.
Yeah, wades in. Said alligator promptly tears his arm off from the shoulder joint in front of everyone. So it's not even that sort of situation where it's like, a vague threat. It's like, hey, there might be gators around, there is none visible right now, but just be careful. It's like there's literally one laying right there. And he's just like, yeah, maybe it's laying on top of golf balls. Yoink! That is absolutely insane. Who does this? How did these sort of genes survive evolution? That is insane. Oh, maybe this is like the next evidence people are gonna use to disprove evolution. Isn't that beautiful? It's like, how can evolution be real if people are this stupid? Wouldn't they have been wiped out by now? Anyway, let's keep reading, shall we? Luckily, my field medic friend is in attendance for the show. Keeps Boomer alive while waiting for the ambulance. The local news shows up. The gory pics are disgusting. You can see the actual ball joint from the arm bone. They get the arm back eventually, but it's mangled beyond repair. Boomer sues golf club. I'm hoping that he didn't win the case, because that is absolutely ridiculous. Everyone was telling him, hey, don't go there. There's a literal alligator. And he's like, oh yeah, that's not gonna scare me. I'm so tough. Arm just flies off. That is absolutely insane. People like this man, like the gall to sue over this is absolutely nuts. That is so bonkers. And here's a screenshot from his Happy Gilmore with the alligator. Oh, that is beautiful. Got this wildly inappropriate text from my dad yesterday.
Hi, my eldest and precious parodical daughter. We miss you and love you. When you are ready to come back to faith, family, and your freedom, we would love to see and hear from you. We pray constantly throughout each day that you will know the truth. Love you much and always. Mom, Dad, and Blop.
He means prodigal. The blocked out name is my adult sister who has Down syndrome. Who knows what he's told her? My parents got contact with me in June when I posted a picture of my dog at a Pride event. They told me they couldn't tolerate my aligning myself with the LGBT community. I never even told them that I am a part of it. Lol. When you are ready to come back to faith, family, and your freedom, yes indeed, you are free to do as you want in your life as long as it's exactly what we want. Isn't that just beautiful freedom? Managed democracy. Harley-Davidson is closing many of its plants due to declining sales. Apparently, the baby boomers all have motorcycles, and Generation X is only buying a very few. And the next generation, the millennials, aren't buying any at all. A recent study was conducted to find out why? ? So was the study conducted or not? That's a weird question mark. Anyway, here are some of the reasons why millennials don't ride motorcycles and sales are down.
Pants won't pull up far enough for them to straddle the seat.
Okay.
Can't get their phone to their ear with a helmet on. Can't use two hands to eat while driving.
What is this? Oh my god. You realize that the oldest millennials are like in their mid-40s or something, right? Like, there's like, those darn kids don't know how to ride a motorcycle without on their phone. They don't get a trophy and a recognition plaque just for buying one. Okay, millennials are pretty old at this point, right? Most millennials I know have purchased some sort of vehicle. Okay. No one is expecting a participation trophy, wherever that stereotype comes from to begin with, for buying like a car. What the hell? Don't have enough muscle to hold the bike up when they stopped. Might have a bug hit them in the face when they would need emergency care. Because they're sissies, right? They're skinny sissies who, if a bug hits them, they go to the emergency room. I see. Motorcycles don't have air conditioning. They can't afford one because they spend 12 years in college trying to get a degree in humanities, social studies, or gender studies, for which no jobs are available. At least it didn't go the route of like avocado sandwiches.
They're eating so much avocado toast that it can't afford a good old Harley-Davidson.
They are allergic to fresh air. Their pajamas get caught on the exhaust pipes. They might get their hands dirty checking the oil. The handlebars have buttons and levers and cannot be controlled by touchscreens. You have to shift manually and use something called the clutch. How young does this person think millennials are? Like, God, when I was a kid, we still had like a rotary phone in the house I grew up in. When I was practice driving my first car, when I was like 16 years old, it was a manual gearbox. I was 16 years ago, like 15 years ago. I practiced drove 15 years ago, and I'm not even like an old millennial. Dear God, what do you think millennial means? This is insane. I suppose millennial is just a synonym for like, damn kids these days. Oh my God, fam.
If I charge, follow me. If I retreat, kill me. If I die, avenge me. This is the code I live by. If you have a problem with it, unfollow me. The true death. Unfollowing my tweets. Every enemy's worst fear. Every daughter's wet dream.
That's a wild thing to put in this tweet.
From cradle to the grave. I'm a living nightmare. I am a United States Marine.
And then there's this like pasty selfie. Jesus Christ. This is the kind of dad selfie you see like on Facebook. You know, when someone just takes like a chin picture like this. It's exactly that vibe, but posting this pasty bad selfie without a shirt to Twitter or Facebook or whatever this is. Talking about like all the daughter's wet dreams and how they're a living nightmare. Oh my God. This is the most cringe I've seen in a while. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is like a special type of keyboard warrior. It's like boomers that think they're badass on Facebook and how they're like every woman's wet dream. Alrighty-o.
Karen thinks it's illegal to ride e-bike.
This is an electric bicycle and is allowed on everything that anything.
Oh yeah, better investigate it.
You are obviously ignorant of the law, and you have no right to stop me. You have no right to stop me on my way to a doctor's appointment. I ride this because I have a medical condition, and you have no right to stop me and question me. No, you do not.
I have the right to stop him. No, you don't. You actually don't.
You are assaulting me. I did. Ma'am, get away from... I am on my way to a doctor's appointment. I am going to be late. Get out of my way. You asshole.
Oh my God. And she's like insisting. Poor puppy that's just in the background. I feel so bad for the puppy. I feel bad for the puppy and kids that have to deal with parents that are like this. That's like the peak of embarrassment. My God. We actually have a term in Swedish for these kind of people. It's so funny. We actually have a saying. It's called självutnämnd polis, which is self-employed police, basically. It's like people who think they are above the law and just go around like correcting people for stupid stuff that doesn't need correcting, right? That is a självutnämnd polis. And this is a perfect example of that. My God. I'm pretty sure also it's illegal to block other people's stuff, at least where I come from. For example, I had someone try to steal my bike recently by putting a second lock on it. And what they will do is hope that you leave the bike away from home overnight and they'll come pick it up later, you know? So if you find your bike with a second lock, just like snip it off. I managed to find a snipper at a nearby facility, so I was fine. I could just clip it off. But I did call the police about it, and they told me that they were gonna make a police report about it because simply putting a lock on someone else's vehicle or property is actually illegal, because you're not allowed to hinder the movement of someone else's vehicle in that way. So just putting your lock on someone else's bike is actually illegal. And I would imagine this falls into a similar category. You can't just like body block someone else's path for no good reason. This is probably illegal, and this lady is being very silly. Even if it's not illegal, it's very Karen. Blah. A boomer stopped me on the street to berate me for drinking in public. It was barbecue sauce. You were drinking barbecue sauce in public? Okay, anyway, made myself a nice batch of pulled pork last night. So on my way to pick up my child from school yesterday, I stopped at the grocery store to pick up some barbecue sauce. Didn't want to bother with a bag for a single bottle of barbecue sauce, so I was holding it in my hand as I walked to the school. Enter boomer man walking his dog. I see him coming from down the sidewalk and think nothing of him until he gets close to me, and I realize he's speaking. I take out my earbud to only be greeted with him ranting at me. Boomer:
You should be ashamed of yourself. This is a school area, and children shouldn't be seeing that.
Me: very confused. Excuse me?
Put the booze away. I can't believe how okay with looking trashy some of you people are. At least wait until you get home, for crying out loud.
Me, still as confused. It's barbecue sauce. Boomer looks again at the very obvious condiment bottle in my hand, and then storms off, shouting,
Well, how was I supposed to know that?
As if I am the butthole. Saw him stink-eyeing me over his shoulder as I left. bizarre interaction, and yet totally in character for a boomer. The pulled pork turned out delicious, by the way. That is a wild thing to be upset about. Assuming someone is doing something wrong without actually double checking if they are. Turns out they weren't doing something wrong, and then you're like mad at them because they didn't do something wrong because it means you were wrong about them being in the wrong. So then they're still a bad person because they made you look silly or something like that, even though you're the one who initiated the whole thing. Ah, that's amazing. Taylor Swift murdered a fan in satanic blood ritual to join Illuminati, insider claims. Insider of what? The Illuminati? Taylor Swift murdered a young fan in a satanic blood sacrifice ritual, according to production staff from Swift's concert movie, who alleged the pop superstar was also forced by music industry Illuminati to drink the young boy's blood. Is this just casual backstage stuff? What, some production staff? Okay, so people just in the green room or something, or they're just fixing some lights and, scene audio behind the scenes, just like, oh, here's this child. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, fam, if I was, like, in some blood drinking ritual, I probably wouldn't do it in front of, like, just like, staff. I'd probably keep it a bit more low-key. I'm just gonna be honest.
My dad wants to road trip to JFK's death site to see if the FBI missed anything.
Why can't you just be normal? It's like that scene from that horror movie. Why can't you just be normal? Ah! Lord have mercy on us all.
There is no excuse to be poor in this country.
I have seen this picture circulating. Look at that cap. Right-wing capitalist. That is beautiful. And he's pointing towards his winnings. That is $570.
Well, that's a down payment for a house, isn't it? I'm up to date with the current economical requirements. Yeehaw!
Respect your elders is participation trophies for old people. Oh my god, oh yes! Oh my god, it is!
There are no houses for the youngsters. And that's about it, really. There isn't much more to say, as the politics are bad, the government is bad. We need a complete reshuffle.
Do you feel sorry for young people trying to get on the housing ladder?
I do, so much, yeah, because they don't have a chance, do they? There's no hope for them. I mean, where are they going to find 30,000 to put down as a deposit? Rents are incredibly high. So no, I don't think it's fair.
Bitcoin schemes and Raid Shadow Legends sponsors.
People commentating on the housing market about advice given to young people seems to be stop eating avocado on toast, stop buying coffees. What do you make of sentiment like that?
Go to the young people, her single parents. They don't have avocado on toast. They'll probably be lucky if they get a piece of toast, never mind about avocado. So no.
She's so beautifully in touch, isn't she?
Would you have any advice for someone trying to get on the property ladder at the moment?
I can't give them any advice. I mean, what do you say to them? Yeah. Go and get a job. There are no jobs. Go and get higher wages. They don't pay higher wages. You go to university, you come out of university, they all expect high-paid jobs. They're not there. And the few that are there are snatched up, aren't they? The creme de creme.
Yeah, creme de creme or like nepotism or whatever. Depending on the country you're from, it's more or less prevalent. But, the market do be a wild thing. I do think it's really refreshing, this stuff, because it gives me a bit of hope. Because I've heard it repeated a surprising amount, even around me, and I'm a raging workaholic. They're like, kids these days don't want to work. I just encountered, like, some old family friends randomly recently, and they literally put that out there. And I'm like, that is so wild. And of course, in some ways, like, yes, some people are gonna be demotivated to work as hard because it doesn't get you anywhere. Like, nowadays, you can't afford a house by just working a 9 to 5. Like, it's so far out of reach. So what are you working for? Just paying rent, definitely? That's not particularly fun. I love to see when people are, like, kind of in touch with how the market has actually evolved. It gives me a little bit of hope for the future. And maybe we are all in this together more than we think. Isn't that beautiful? Shared by a boomer on Facebook. You must shield the children from the gay Baphomet.
Look at this, shielding the children from gay Baphomet. Very important. Oh my god, and read to them. I'm guessing that's supposed to be a Bible. It's not very thick though, so I'm not sure if it's a Bible, but maybe it's supposed to be. Yeah, that is absolutely wild. Oh look, they actually used the updated LGBTQ flag though. That's like half a gold star out of like 100. I think my Twitter may have been hacked. Ladies and girls kissing. How do I delete tweet? Is this Google?
I bet he's also complaining about 43-year-old millennials not understanding a manual gearbox for a car. A boomer mother-in-law demands I don't go out to eat so we can save for her retirement. Wait a second, that's pretty wild. My boomer mother-in-law, F59, is always complaining that I need to save money. At the very first few years of my relationships with my wife, I thought she was just trying to look out for me. She let it slip at the dinner table today. My father-in-law burnt the chicken drumsticks on the grill to the point they weren't edible. When I suggested getting pizza from Little Caesars or Domino's, she slipped and said, "No, Brian, save your money. We have no 401k. You need to save." My mother-in-law married my father-in-law not because of his looks. He is obese, but he makes 6 figures. So I guess that was her draw to him. However, he admitted to me that he hadn't saved poo for retirement and he still owed a lot of back child support from a prior marriage. Their plan was originally to go retire in Argentina, where they are originally from. However, inflation there is wild and quality of living is going down, unfortunately. So now their plan is to live off of me, I guess. Frick my life. I suppose like generational housing can be kind of a wholesome thing, but it should kind of be a two-way street though, fam. Otherwise it seems just just a little bit parasitical, doesn't it? Oh my god.
I grew up in New Jersey, 1916 ladies. No tattoos, nose rings, or green hair. Look at this random picture I dug up. Heck yeah.
I mean, it's like a 50-50 is pictures they use for these kind of arguments, just AI generated to begin with, and like ignoring the issues of the time, I suppose, and everything, and like, oh my god, society has really gone downhill because nose rings. Old racist Karen harasses man and won't leave his garage.
Come on. You won't even tell your kids to stop it. Where's your wife? She's a nice person. She talks nice. Where is Janine? Can you get her out here?
No, I cannot. Get out of my house, please.
It's your house? Oh, well, that's good to know.
What?
Get out of my house.
This is your house? That's good to know. You're literally standing in it. What?
You're gonna do what? You're gonna do what?
What is that sass?
Do what? Sir, take your wife home, man. I'm serious. Take your wife home.
You can hear the guy behind the camera is like really holding it back as well.
Get your hand off my car, please. Get your hand off my car. Get your hand off my car.
This is fascinating. I've never seen like a 90-year-old toddler before. That is astounding. You know when kids are roughly like 2.5 years old, when they enter like the first, how should I put this, pushing boundaries age of childhood, right? This is that, but she never outgrew it, even though she's 90 instead of 2.5.
Wow.
Well, when Janine comes home, I'd like to talk to her.
Wow. Slanted eyes. Keep going. Keep going. I gave you plenty of chances.
Oh, it's even worse than a toddler. It's like a little bit of racism in there too. So that means the toddlers actually behave better than she does.
They're not nice when they're just coloring chalk on the sidewalk.
The sidewalk? That's the alley.
Is it bothering you? What's bothering you about this?
Because it looks like...
Oh, so I have nice kids, but their drawing looks like...
No, you're...
No, wait, let me tell you something. You're not supposed to do this.
Oh, are they upset by like crayons in the street?
The entire neighborhood has zero problem with it except you.
Okay.
You have had a problem with me since I moved in here.
No, we saw a guy that didn't have slanted eyes.
Oh, and again, slanted eyes. Here we go again. Here we go again.
This is so bad. Oh my god.
Please take your wife home, sir.
Leave this guy alone.
Please take your wife home, sir.
That is wild. So the upsetty spaghetti they have is like their kids or something I played with, like, you know, the street crayons and drawn some cute things on the street, I'm guessing. So that's why they're like literally busting into his property essentially and just like tossing out racial stuff. Okay, that is absolutely beautiful. Oh my god. I am pretty sure at this point in my life that there are some people that just never leave the toddler stage of just like pushing boundaries, but they keep doing it with more people in the world than just their parents for some reason. It astounds me that people like this have gone this far in life without having like some severe consequences, because in my mind, just statistically speaking, if you act like a complete douche to everyone, sooner or later somebody's gonna sucker punch you in the face, you know? You're gonna encounter someone who's crazier than you are and you push the wrong buttons, you know? It's fascinating that statistically these people are still going. My god, humanity is way too nice sometimes, isn't it? And of course by that I don't mean to justify like going around and punching people who are just acting poopy, you know, that's not the point, but just like statistically, it is a fascination, isn't it? This button crippled the whole generation. Input. Oh my god, yes. Oh, that is beautiful. I spent a year working cable customer service, and probably a third of my calls were boomers confused by the input button. I had a friend back in the day who worked in computer support, and there was like an older lady, I believed, who called in, and she had issues with her desktop computer. This is like a few years ago, and it wouldn't turn on. So my friend was walking her through like the steps to be like, okay, check so it's plugged in, check so like you have the switch on the power supply on. Nothing was working. So he was like, oh my god, what could this be? Like, has something unplugged inside the computer? But she assured him she hadn't messed around inside the actual computer box. But he asked her to open it and like take a look just to be safe. So he pops open the lid and he says like, okay, look for the power cable. It looks like this. And she says, oh, I can't see anything in here. It's too dark. And he says, okay, turn on the light so you can see inside the computer. And she says, no, I can't. There's a power outage. This was like 20 minutes into trying to figure out why the computer wouldn't start. A woman argues with her neighbor about a new fence being put up.
What's the deal? Why these guys on my lot? You want to be a tough neighbor, and I'm going to be tough back. I want them off my lot, and you're not...
I know I'm only 6 seconds into this clip, but I can already tell why they would want a fence up against this person. I'm gonna be honest.
You created nothing but crap. With all your picture taken, we're cutting down trees, which actually ultimately helped you.
What?
All right, we took back your property for you because it was creating so many leaves and everything.
I like how the worker is just going. He just doesn't care. That is so beautiful.
Yes, and I will show him where the property line is. You don't have no idea where the property line is. Well, you don't know what you're speaking about.
I'm assuming they measured the property line before the company started working, otherwise the company would probably be at liability. So I'm just gonna assume they know what they're doing.
You don't know what you're saying. You don't even know what you're talking about. You can't be a shitty neighbor and take pictures and make my life difficult when I want to cut down trees and then do this. You're so full of crap.
Oh, did she try to cut down trees on the neighbor's property or something like that?
That's what you get for being a shitty neighbor. That's what you get. You get what you give. This is what your husband...
You get what you give. I mean, build a fence yourself as well then. Make it easy. You get what you give. Free fences.
Take pictures and video while we're sitting there trying to cut down trees.
Is she trying to call the cops or something?
Your own neighbor's put a sign, get out. Does that give you a hint? When they spray paint on your side of the fence, keep off?
What? I wouldn't be surprised if this lady is the one that put up that hate sign, the one she's talking about, like other neighbors put the sign up just to make it seem like there's more people against them. I see people do this quite a lot. I actually had a really dedicated, I want to call it like a combination of a troll and a stalker on my YouTube channel like 10 years ago when I was getting started. And they would like create dozens, if not hundreds of accounts, just like leaving hate comments and replying to themselves. It was absolutely insane. I remember even going to the YouTube help forums at the time, like, hey, is it possible to IP ban people? And the person found that as well and was like hate bombing the thread. It was absolutely ridiculous. But they would do this to make it seem like more people were hating on me than they actually were, to like make new accounts so they could agree with their original comment. It is surprisingly common that people do this stuff, and I've seen it in multiple instances. So if this lady is referencing some freaking sign someone put up, I wouldn't be surprised if she did that sign last night herself, I'm gonna be honest. Watch the boomer park this at the grocery store, stand back, give his wife a thumbs up, and then waddle inside. Added fun, both flags were torn to shreds from being dragged around, including the US flag. And that's what they look like from behind. What a good parking. Oh my god, at least the lot is like a bit empty, so hopefully they didn't bother anyone, but that is some garbage parking.
Many 3-year-olds have trouble staying within the lines. Maybe if you practice coloring the turtle, it will help you with your parking.
I need to print some of these. Oh my god, that is gold. So many comments from boomers where millennial could be swapped for kids these days. Remember, the oldest millennial are 43. We're dealing with gray hair and mortgages. Many are parents and some grandparents. We are not obnoxious children, we are obnoxious adults. And we would appreciate it if you shifted your critiques away from us and towards Gen Z, a generation that has wittier comebacks filled with words I don't entirely understand and still has the youthful energy to put up with your poo. That's kind of beautiful. How to compliment Gen Z, but also just like redirect the boomer stuff. Oh my god, that is absolutely beautiful. Gen Z does have some zinger comebacks though, I'm gonna be honest.
Why don't pictures like this ever trend? Heart and praying emojis. Look at this beautiful picture of veterans and a dog.
Why does the dog have 5 legs? It has 2 like replacement legs and 3 other legs. 24,000 people are just liking and hearting this. Oh my god, as if the guy's face in the middle doesn't give it away that this is AI, or like, I don't know, the 5-legged dog.
Why don't pictures like this ever trend?
Because they're not real, Karen. Oh my god, the comments.
Love all of them. Wonderful. Show all our brave fighters, all of them. This is such an amazing picture.
Okay, maybe this is satire. Maybe this is satire. I hope this is satire. It must be satire, but people are still falling for it. This is just people eating the onion.
Look at his eyebrows.
Are those tattooed rifles? Tattoos are ruining this generation, except if you like shave your eyebrows off and replace them with tiny guns. Then tattoos are not ruining this generation. Oh, that is the most unpleasant voice I've heard in a while. Oh. I'm gonna be honest, if anyone uses that tone of voice in my surrounding, I'm just gonna assume instantly that you're in the wrong. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Why don't picture like this ever trend? Happy birthday, Granny. It might be my last birthday, and no one wished me a happy birthday.
Did she make this banner herself or something? Just order it from a printing press to the hospital? Anyway, she's there with 100 cake. Let's check out the comments, shall we?
Happy birthday, happy 100th birthday, happy birthday lady, happy birthday sweetie, happy birthday babe, happy birthday.
People need to stop believing everything they read online. I mean, obvious AI apart. Can you imagine, if you think it's bad enough now what people fall for, that it's just AI, imagine in a few years when it's gonna be like legit difficult to tell. When you won't have the dead giveaways like misspellings and scrambled button things in the background or like 5 fingers. You know, imagine what it's gonna be like in like 2 or 3 years. Oh my god, the future is bright. Mom, who kicked her kids out when they turned 18, tries to move in with them now that she has no money. I said no. You're a healthy working age person. You should not be freeloading. That's exactly what she told me when I was 18. Oh my god, fam, when I was 18, I hadn't even graduated high school yet. You're like in 2nd grade or maybe beginning of 3rd grade high school. You don't even have a job yet. Oh my god, that is absolutely wild to kick someone out in like the middle of high school and then expect them to take you in and baby you when they're like actually working and you decide not to. That is wild. I can't believe the entitlement of people like this that treat people like garbage but then expect like the exact opposite. It's like, I was so good to you apart from that time I literally made you homeless. What a treat. Well, laddies, lasses, and lassos, I do hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed having you here, you wonderful, beautiful bean. And I will see you again in the very near future. Take care. Mwah.